Everyone agrees exercise is great. Prevents disease, makes you feel good, look good, and is free. The problem is that you are busy, cannot exercise all the time. So this iPhone app helps you answer these questions. First, how much exercise is enough to keep you healthy? 30 minutes a day, 1 hour a day? What will be your ideal weight according to the medical literature? How about according to your peers? How many pounds should you lose, if any? Do you really need to lose a few inches around the waist? If so, how many inches is enough? The answers take in consideration the medical literature, your own goals, your own activity level, and they are tailored to your own particular characteristics, like your height, your weight, age, body shape, and gender. The app is ridiculously easy to use. It will prompt you to enter your characteristics, and you have to do that only once. Then the app will automatically display most of your recommendations. It's worth getting the app just for that information alone. After you exercise, you just tap this single button. The app will automatically add a diary entry. Optionally, you can tap the diary entry and change the duration of the exercise you just did, if different from your goal, or you can enter your weight whenever you get around to measuring it. But most of the time, you're just gonna tap that single button. And that's it. Then sit back and watch your efforts, your results, and your personal recommendations. But you don't have to remember anything, any detail, because in every screen in the app, green is good, red is bad, and if you are only green, you're doing okay. That's all you need to know to use the app. But if you want more details and examples, you can watch the rest of the video. Let me show you some examples. In the exercise graph, green is within 10% of the goal you set for yourself. And each pink bar represents 1 day of exercise. In the beginning of the month, there's some big gaps showing that you skipped many days of exercise. And when you did exercise, the bars were short, showing that you didn't reach your goal, didn't exercise enough to reach your goal. When you look at something like that, you may decide, well, I'm going to step up. So in the following 2 weeks, you improved the frequency of your exercise, so the bars are close together. And when you did exercise, you exercised long enough to reach your goals. So the average for the past 7 days was about 50 minutes a day, which is not bad. This pink line shows how your weight changed. Red is obese, green is normal, and orange is overweight. These colors are based on recommendations by United States Center of Disease Control and the World Health Organization. So you are gaining weight, but in the past weeks you start losing it. This line shows where you start your exercise program. It's there to show how far you have come. This pink dot is where you are. This pink line is where you have been. The goal is where you want to be. Ideal weight is where you ought to be according to the medical literature. And people's choice is where you ought to be according to your peers. So this pink line shows how your efforts are producing results, so you are more likely to keep up your efforts. The trend of the pink line shows you may well reach your goal within a couple of weeks. This is a summary of your health. In all screens in the app, green and happy faces are good, red and sad faces are bad, so they help you interpret all your information instantaneously. All the screens in the app give information that's personalized to your case and is medically objective, so you can make informed decisions about how much to exercise. Waist to hip ratio. You measure your waist at the thinnest part of your upper body and your hip at the widest level of your buttocks. Suppose your ratio shows you are apple-shaped like this one. That means fat is mostly on the upper body, closer to your vital organs like heart and lungs. That gives you high risk of heart and lung disease. So you need to lose a few inches around your waist. But how many inches? Let's try to lose 2 inches from 40 to 38. So 2 inches was enough to change your shape from apple to a pear, so you reduce your risk of heart disease. Body mass index shows how fat you are based on your weight and height. It's used by the United States Center for Disease Control and the World Health Organization to determine your medical ideal. Your metabolism is the energy you burn at rest, as if you stay in bed all day. It is higher if you have more muscle. So if you're a man or young, or eat more, that will also increase your metabolism. So the best way to increase your energy is not to skip meals, but is to exercise and build muscle. Calorie needs is how much you should eat to maintain your weight. So if you want to lose weight, you eat less than this amount. If you want to gain weight, you eat more than this amount. Why would anyone want to gain weight? Well, say now, for example, your weight is 220 pounds. And say that you, in a few months, you measure your weight and is about 130 pounds. Well, in that case, you are in the red again. That's because you now have anorexia. A nice thing about this app is that now that anytime you hop in the scale to measure your weight, you know what that number means to you, in your particular case. Unlike metabolism, calorie needs takes in consideration how much you exercise. For example, now your calorie needs are about 2,700. Suppose you exercise a lot this week. So, you exercise a lot, you need to eat more, so your calorie needs now increase to almost 3,000. Medic Ideal is a weight recommendation based on your height and weight. In contrast, People's Choice is a more recent alternative by Dr. Halls. It's based on height and weight, but also takes in consideration your age, gender, and the perception of the general population. So you may want to set your own goal for your own weight based on the number in between those two values. Learning your risk of heart disease and your ideal weight is great. You learn all that the first day you get the app before doing any exercise. Many people will get the app just for that information alone. But to prevent disease, you have to exercise. So these numbers here, they show how long you have been exercising on average. The color and the faces tells you whether you are achieving your goals you set for yourself. In contrast, these labels are based on the medical literature. You want to exercise enough to be active, on the green. Let me give you an example. Suppose you got injured, or suppose that you have been inactive for a long time and want to start slowly. Your doctor told you that you should set your goal to about 5 minutes a day. So let's change that to 5 minutes. You're going to get green colors and happy faces because you're achieving your goal. But 5 minutes is not really enough to prevent disease. So you get the red labels telling you that, well, you're being sedentary, so you should try to get as active as soon as you can. We demoed lots of examples and details, but you only have to remember this. The app will prompt you to enter your characteristics. You have to do that only once. Then the app will immediately give you most of your recommendations. It's worth getting the app just for that information alone. After you exercise, you just have to tap a single button. The app will automatically create a diary entry. Optionally, you can tap the diary entry and change the duration of the exercise if different from your goal, or enter your weight whenever you get around to measuring it. And that's it. Then just sit back and watch your efforts, your results, and your personal recommendations. Just exercise enough to be on the green. And you feel good, look good, and prevent heart disease, which is the #1 killer in America. You can get the app in iTunes stores right now by searching for Xrun.